And also showing the billionaire Mr. Trump losing money in 4 of the 6 years covered, appearing to undercut a central element of his political biography.
He uses those losses to offset the income that flows into his pocket. Overall, he's a terrible businessman.
His success as a businessman.
What Donald Trump does is collects money from businesses he has, and then the businesses lose money.
Did you know Trump's been caught red-handed with a Sharpie again? This time, it wasn't weather maps he was scribbling on. It was his tax returns. The IRS agents actually had to wear gloves to handle the documents because they were so covered in ink. And get this, when they finally deciphered what was underneath all that black marker, even the most seasoned tax investigators started laughing so hard they had to take breaks. One agent reportedly said, "I've seen 7-year-olds with lemonade stands keep better financial records than this." Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Did you know Trump treats his tax returns like a kindergarten coloring book? The IRS is freaking out about what they found. Former IRS agents have blown the whistle on something so ridiculous, you might think it came straight from an SNL skit. Apparently, our president decided the official way to file taxes wasn't fancy enough for him.
Thousands of pages of Donald Trump's tax returns show the former president paid relatively little in federal taxes. The returns posted today after the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the House Ways and Means Committee in November.
According to insiders who recently left the IRS, they discovered something truly bizarre when examining Trump's tax documents. Page after page of official tax returns covered in thick black Sharpie marks, numbers crossed out and replaced with significantly larger ones. One agent described opening the envelope and being hit with the unmistakable smell of permanent marker that was still so strong it made their eyes water.
From 2015 through the end of his term, including a $0 federal tax bill in 2020, but even greater losses in 15 countries, including China, Qatar, and Turkey.
It was unlike anything we'd ever seen before, said one former agent who asked to remain anonymous. Most people use accountants. Trump apparently prefers arts and crafts. The tax experts were forced to develop special forensic techniques just to see what was underneath all that ink. They had to use specialized lighting and digital enhancement tools normally reserved for investigating forged documents in major fraud cases.
To donate his $400,000 presidential salary, he reported no charitable contributions in 2020. The filings showing he maintained foreign bank accounts in China, the United Kingdom, and Ireland. And in 2020 reported $78 million in income.
And what did they find underneath all that black ink? Exactly what you'd expect from a man who claims to be, like, really smart. Trump had been methodically adding zeros to his income figures and crossing out legitimate expenses. In one particularly brazen example, he changed a $1.5 million property value to $15 million simply by squeezing in an extra zero and adding what appeared to be a small smiley face next to it. But the Sharpie shenanigans don't stop there. One agent claims Trump wrote "very rich person" in the margins of his Schedule A and drew a stick figure wearing a crown labeled "me." Next to his competitor's business information, he'd scrawled "total losers" with frowny faces. The handwriting analysis experts confirmed it matched his distinctive all-caps style seen in his infamous Oval Office notes.
And also showing the billionaire Mr. Trump losing money in 4 of the 6 years covered, appearing to undercut a central element of his political biography.
He uses those losses to offset the income that flows into his pocket. Overall, he's a terrible businessman.
His success as a businessman.
What Donald Trump does is collects money from businesses he has, and then the businesses lose money.
Another document showed Trump trying to claim his hairspray as a structural business expense, with a note saying it keeps the building together. When questioned about this, a former Trump Organization accountant sighed deeply and explained. He insisted his hair was structurally integral to the Trump brand and therefore a legitimate business expense. We tried to explain that's not how tax law works, but he just grabbed his Sharpie and wrote "wrong" across our explanation. The IRS team was particularly baffled by a completely new section Trump had created called Genius Deductions. Under this makeshift category, he listed items like being too smart to pay, making America great again, $1 million, and tremendous brain power, priceless but deductible. One agent recalled, "We had to create a whole new protocol just to handle these submissions. We started calling it the alternative facts review process." When confronted about these creative edits during an audit, Trump reportedly defended his actions with characteristic modesty. "My Sharpie has the best ink, really tremendous ink," he told auditors. "It makes numbers more accurate. Everyone says so." He then suggested the IRS should be thanking him for making their job more interesting and offered to sign their audit reports with his gold Sharpie as a souvenir. So did Trump really use a Sharpie to edit his tax returns? The evidence strongly suggests he did. Forensic document examiners confirmed the marker used on his tax documents matches the exact same type of Sharpie he infamously used to alter the Hurricane Dorian weather map back in 2019. You remember that one? Where he extended the hurricane's path into Alabama with a hand-drawn bubble after making an incorrect statement about the storm's trajectory. The same Sharpie expert who analyzed the hurricane map noted, "The pressure applied to the tax documents indicates someone who believes pressing harder makes something more true." A handwriting analyst added, "The flourishes at the end of certain numbers suggest someone who thinks even digits should have dramatic flair." How did the IRS respond to this unprecedented approach to taxation? They've reportedly created a special Trump task force equipped with extra strength magnifying glasses and Sharpie-resistant gloves just to handle his paperwork. The team works in a well-ventilated room due to the overwhelming marker fumes and receives hazard pay for the psychological trauma of deciphering his financial creativity. One tax official admitted, "We've had to implement a unique color coding system just for his returns. Red flags for obvious falsehoods, blue flags for mathematically impossible claims, and gold stars for the few lines that might accidentally contain accurate information." The department has allegedly purchased industrial strength erasers and special solvent solutions just to see the original numbers on his documents. You know what's really hilarious? Professional comedians have admitted Trump's made their jobs way too easy. They don't even need to write jokes anymore. Just quote him directly and the audience loses it.
Imagine him getting a manicure. Okay, just go easy. Little hands, little tiny hands.
Yeah.
I'm not tiny down there.
Yeah.
I figure if he starts World War III, we'll be in our bunkers. He'll still be selling us on closed circuit TV. You know, we had a fabulous nuclear war. It was fabulous. Many people, excuse me, many people, excuse me, many people, excuse me, many, you're gonna be happy, you're gonna be happy, like, you know, happy, you're gonna be, excuse me. Tremendous nuclear war. Your bunkers are terrific. Your bunkers are fabulous. The Chinese bunkers are a disaster. They're a disaster. Okay.
The material writes itself when your subject is a walking punchline. So as we wrap up our little tax adventure, remember the Sharpie saga isn't just about creative accounting. It's a masterclass in how not to deal with the IRS. Trump may think he's outsmarting everyone with his marker madness, but those agents have seen it all. Next time you're tempted to get artistic with your taxes, remember, leave the Sharpies for grocery lists and bathroom graffiti.